you can teach a semester on this period, because I think this is the period when we start being African people. We became Negroes and we became coloreds. We became a whole lot of things that we are not, and we lost our connection with Africa, which means this is why the Garvey period was so important, because he was restoring that connection. We didn't fully understand it then. We don't fully understand it now. For people to exist without a nationality, an identification with a piece of land, he is a legless man. Not only part of his body is inoperative, part of his mind is inoperative, part of his psychic being is not there. Because for a human being to feel whole, he must identify with land. And he must understand something, that is the difference between being a subject and a citizen. It is in this period that we became confused between the two. Up until the end of the 19th century, we knew we were not citizens in the United States, no matter what the paper said. We knew we were subjects. And because we knew we were subjects, we had our fighting spirit intact. And this was an international thing, not something applicable to the blacks in the United States. But those in the Caribbean were doing the same thing, understanding the fakery of their emancipation. We begin to understand the fakery of our emancipation. And the Africans had already understood the fakery of the change between chattel slavery and colonialism, a more sophisticated form of slavery. Now, in a book called The Betrayal of the Negro, Rayford Logan has a chapter called The Nadir, or the lowest period. Now, the preface to the Booker T. Washington era is the nadir, the lowest spiritual period, the lowest economic period in our history in this country. All right, 1874, 1875, we had been betrayed. The Southern troops, the federal troops had been withdrawn from the South, permitting the rise of the Ku Klux Klan, the Knights of the White Camellia, and all other racist organizations. Both the North and the South had betrayed us in favor of a vote for Tilton B. Hayes, the new president. Many of the safeguards had been withdrawn, and no one wanted to talk about the promise of the 40 acres and the mule. No one wanted to talk about this anymore. Now, had we gotten the 40 acres and the mule, and had we not lost feeling for the land, we would be the feeders of America today, because this came at a time before the immigrant migration. It came at a time when whites did not want to farm. And had we mastered the land, we could have controlled what this nation ate. And we would have been moderately wealthy doing so, because that means we will be controlling some other things. All right. It was a period of industrialization in the United States. This is the period of the Vanderbilts, the rise of the Vanderbilts, the Harrimans, the railroad people, the Rockefellers, and the Carnegie, the steel people, Andrew Mellon and Carnegie. Now these men were rich thugs. Make no mistake about it, they were thugs. But these thugs now wanted respectability. And this white philanthropy, now they've been told that you get a better press by giving to the Negro. So they discovered us at a time when none of us had any big money to give to endow anything. We had already built the independent black church and the large institutions. We have built more independent institutions than any African people living outside of Africa. Not because we are more industrial, and not because we've got more money, and not because we've got more brains, but because the kind of thugs white thugs control the United States deprived us of so much, either we had to build it ourselves or do without it altogether. And so the church could not be just a church. The church was a community center. Part of the day the church was the school. And occasionally in trouble, the church was the hiding place. And the church played a major role in the physical protection of black people, because the one person that they would partly listen to was the black minister. Amen. All right, now, we're approaching this period now when white philanthropy want to know what to do with us. Bishop Turner has not only arose, but Bishop Turner is on the warpath. Bishop Turner has already made one of his back to Africa trips. Now he actually took people back to Africa. More people went under Bishop Turner than under Garvey. We've forgotten Bishop Turner. It's unfortunate we've forgotten most of our heroes. Bishop Turner hated what the country's done to his people so much, he would mount an American flag in the pulpit before his sermon, and for 15 minutes, starting with the statement, "This flag ain't nothing but a GD rag," he would preach 15 minutes against the flag and the betrayal of his people and the lies the country telling his people. Then he would calm himself down and pick up his Bible and preach a sermon. Now, Bishop Turner was on the raid. White people wanted to know, who is the leader of these radical people? Who can I communicate to calm them down? Not getting any answer, they decided